drill. Okay. Okay, how far do we go? So we need at least that much length for sure, just to get to the hole. And it only goes up a little bit more than that after you're in there, I think. Look at that, I timed it just perfect. It doesn't quite bottom out, but it's close to it. Pull it a little bit further just to be safe.
All right.
Okay, so now, oh, I can see a drill spinning in there. See it in there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we know where it is. Goes in there about that much further. Okay, so we got that much room to work with. Well, that just went all the way. Just to deburr it. You just swallowed up the rest of that.
And that.
Is that touching? Okay. Yep. It keeps growing.
There you go.
Got it all that time?
Yeah, it looks like you bottomed out then.
There's the hole. So we're about a 1/4 inch of material from the bottom here on this side. Okay, so it goes in there that far. Goes in there pretty far. So it goes in there here. It's a good 1/2 inch past the hole. Goes in a lot further. Okay, so we don't want to go in so far we shut off the flow the other way. We do want to go in enough to cover the hole up. So that's a trade-off. So usually what I like to do is put another drill in there in the other direction. Make sure I don't go in too far. There's our reamer. So it won't fit. Let's see what we got here. How small do we go? Okay, we got 186.5. We got 188.5. So we have 2.6 inches hanging out, 2 5/8 max length probably. That was all the way to the inside though. See what's cutting. There's a whole lot. So I'm going to stop with that one right there. This is 88. That gets me right up to about where the hole starts. Pretty close to it. This one's 86, which would be a press fit. Right there. Thanks for this. That's a long drill. Think we're hitting it?
Appears to me.
So that's our maximum length we can go. I'm restricting it slightly. .5 inches. You probably should pull back at least 30-second from that to make sure you don't restrict the hole, because that's less than 3/16. So I think like 2/450 if you want to really push it. So like 2.4 is probably plenty. And we put this in here. There's a hole. So about 1 3/4 inch is where the hole's at. So if we go a 2 inch, 2.2, you're a ½ inch past the hole. So that should give you a good sealing for oil.
Right.
And we can go all the way to 2.4 is about the maximum I want to go in length. So the problem is when these things lock up on you, you keep beating on it, it just crushes it. It builds it out, and once it does that, you're done.
Right.
It won't go any further. Then it just kind of collapses on itself, and then you're done. You get to pull it back out. At least attempt to pull it back out. Or you just cut the thing off and leave it at that. Done that too. Okay, so that's how deep that one is. So we know where our depth is. So we got our holding fixture right here for holding our tubing. So when you cut the tube off, see how it pinches the hole off?
Uh-huh.
So we got to find out what size this tubing actually is. I don't know. It should be relatively thin wall though. But we do have to get this thing reamed out a little bit bigger what it is. Okay, so this is a big one, small one. Okay, so what you do is you put a nice generous taper to it. That way you can get to start the hole before it locks up. So yeah, I went about that deep with it. File.
Mm-hmm.
Now we got to drill this hole out. multiple times to get out the size. I don't know what size it is. We're going to experiment on your head first.
Ah, perfect.
You know what you want to do?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I don't want to screw up the other guys.
No, definitely not. I would never.
So this is new, his is used.
Right.
I'm not going to damage anything important.
No.
Now, stainless doesn't like to cut very well, so this here becomes hard at times. Okay, that one worked all right. I'm going to skip up a couple sides because it's my next one up. How many holes is that? About 3, 4. Okay, hole's getting bigger. Okay, that was 104. Skip a few more sizes. It's 116 or 18, I think. Should have 130. 132 to 135, I think is what these should be. If it's thin wall.
Mm-hmm.
If it's thick wall, it'll be way less than that. My guess is this might be thick wall, which in our case is bad. So if you make it too small of a hole through here, it restricts the tubing down. My nitrous tubing is 135 in the center. This stuff here is probably not that thin. We'll see. This is 128. Cutting it very far. See, I bought this for brake line tubing, so it's thicker wool than normally what I buy for nitrous use. See, 128 is not going in the hole. 20. Try 116. That one right in. Must be what I used before. This is 120. So this is 120. Let's start 128 again. He's just cutting. So if I had to guess, I'd say it's not 128.
Mm-hmm.
Might be 125, but it ain't 128. This is 120. So 125 is 1/8 inch. So we go over to an 1/8 inch bit. This is 125. We'll see if it's 125. Felt like it was trying to go in. There it goes. So it's a 125, but the problem is it's holding it to cut it. Jab it on there. Tight. So stainless is pretty tough. Okay, 125. So that's an 1/8 inch drain back hole, which is not a very big hole size. And 123 is all I'm measuring. 189. That's thick wool. This is our pressure hole. So how much pressure we got coming up to our rocker, to our boxes is restricted by this tubing. So there's a big difference between 125 and 135.
Mm-hmm.
See, on the nitrous system, 125 is your steel tubing. Stainless is thin wall, it's 135, 136. So that makes a big difference on your nitrous outside flow and your,
Right.
and your restricted line. So this is a thick wall, which I don't really like. So I got to see if I can find that actual nitrous tubing stuff. I don't know if I got any more left. Otherwise, I got to decide if I want to stay with this or not. Now realistically, 1/8 inch hole size is probably adequate for flowing through here. But, you know, it's always nice to not be the restrictor right here. So I'm going to go look for some other tubing, and if I can't find it, we'll make a decision. So be back.